Hello, welcome to NM Studio again. I remain your guest, Lifted Elijah Paul. Yes, so in today's edition, it is not just another podcast, but today is a moment of alignment. Yes, having with me today is not just a man of God, it's somebody that his life has proven that God can lift somebody from nowhere to become a global figure through process. Okay, so with great joy in our hearts and in the first time in NM Studio, we are privileged to have God's own servant in our midst, in the person of Apostle Leonard. Help me celebrate him. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You are welcome. It's such an honor to have you, sir.
Let's go. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. So, sir, without wasting much time, we are actually going to be taking a lot from you today, honestly. With your permission, sir, we have a lot. So I don't want us to really waste time, so we're going to go straight. I'm going to be asking you some questions which I believe that as you are going to be answering, it's going to be blessing life out there who are watching. So very firstly on my list, many people look at the sowing, but they don't see the season behind the sowing. Yes. So, sir, to you, what is your life? I would like you to explain your life when this global light hasn't reflected on you. What is your lifestyle when there is no applause, there is no celebration, no invitation, no global traveling and all of that? What are those things you were experiencing? I would like you to share to the crowd. Yeah.
Okay, just like you said, you see, there was a time that there was no invitation.
Yeah.
There was a time that we don't go to nations.
Yeah.
But those times we stayed with God. Those were the season that we stayed with God. We still stay with God till now.
Yes.
But those were the times that God took us through processes.
Hi.
Those were the times that God took his time to work on our motive. Those were the times that God took his time to break us. And those were the times that we experienced so many disappointment, challenges. In short, there were days that we felt like giving up.
Hi.
Many a times we felt like giving up. Like year 2020 to year 2021, I was in Ghana for close to a year, and I know what I experienced in Ghana. Now, what I experienced in Ghana, I can't, even though maybe I don't have an enemy, but I can't wish my enemy to go through that.
My God.
I get it. But I believe that God used that 9 months in Ghana to work on me, because I believe that everything I'm experiencing in ministry today, I can say that 70% of everything the result I'm seeing today all came just from that process.
Okay, sir, just to digress a bit, sir, you said you went to Ghana. We want to know what took you to Ghana actually. Is it that you were staying in Ghana or God sent you to Ghana?
Yes. Okay, God sent me to Ghana. Like,
wow.
I am called as an apostle, and based on my dealings with God, I don't go to where God did not send me to.
Oh,
yeah. Because I know that in ministry, when you send yourself, you back yourself. But when God sends you, He will back you.
Powerful. I think I should take that.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Wow.
So every man of God, every man of God must take note of that. I used to always say that not all open doors are God's door. Some open doors are trapped in disguise. That is just the reality. So you must be sensitive enough to know the doors that God has opened. So while I was in university about to graduate, God told me that next year I'll be sending you to Ghana as a missionary. The instruction was clear.
Wow.
And I took 1 year to prepare myself for Ghana. I took time to get the location where God is sending me to. I took time to even get as simple as a message Because you see, when God is sending you to a nation or a city or a locality, then God have to give you a message as an apostle.
Oh yes.
God needs to give you a message. And what God told me, that is sending me with the message of hope.
My God.
To the nation of Ghana and to Kumasi.
Oh.
And not just Kumasi, the student, the university. Because Kumasi as a whole, they speak their local language, which is called Twi. Is it they call it Twi or something like that?
Oh.
So my ministry can only be effective among the students.
Wow. It
was specific. I never even knew. It was when I get to Ghana, I discovered that the whole of Kumasi, they speak local language. You can't see, you hardly see two people interacting with English.
Wow.
It's only when you get to the campus, my place of assignment, then you can see students interacting with English.
Wow.
So everyone interacts with their local language. So you can see, that's why you see when God is sending you, you need to ask questions. You need to ask questions. Because when you don't ask questions, you go there and you struggle.
Oh yes.
So God sent me to Ghana, and He told me He's sending me to the student. And I saw the evidence, I saw the hand of God.
Wow. That's so powerful. I'm getting blessed already. So without wasting much time, I will just go fast forward to the next question. Okay. Sir, seeing that we are in the age of social media, right? We are in the age of social media where people go famous overnight. You can just see somebody doing something somewhere anyhow, and they just pick the person somehow. That person become a celebrity. We can pick 1 or 2 or 3 of them in our space and all of that. So seeing that we are in this dispensation, I want you to enlighten us. How did God prepare your heart not to expose you to this destruction? How did God prepare your heart in this season?
You see, the truth is that it takes time for God to trust a man.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to God, God does not trust a man overnight. I and one of my close friends in ministry, we were discussing, and he said something. I told him something that, you see, when a man has worked with God for like 10 years, he has built a track record for 10 years. Any little mistake, because you see, one thing God is that when you make a mistake, maybe you fall, you don't start from that 10 years, you go and start from year 1.
Oh yes.
So that's why I say every man of God must be very careful, because it takes time for God to trust you. So if it takes 10 years for God to trust you with this level of anointing, this level of grace, then you must try as much as possible to sustain it, because any little mistake, you will go and start over again. So what I'm trying to say is that God, because in that 10 years for God to commit such level of anointing and dimension to you, God has used His time to work on your heart, your motive. Because if God did not work on your motive, anything God commits into your hand will be a disaster even to you.
This is powerful.
So God Himself will take His time to work on your heart, to work on your motive. So those pains we pass through, those God, there are times God permits disappointment. There are times God permits those failures. There are times God permits those suffering. All those things are the things that will make you to come to the end of yourself. Because when those things are happening, you know that you can't run to man, you can only run to God.
Oh yes.
I get me. So when you now run to God, then God will now take His time to make sure that He furnish you for His personal use. That is just the reality. So no man, any man you see today that the world is celebrating, any man you see today that the world is celebrating and is living in consecration, in purity, in holiness, that is a man that God has worked on.
Powerful.
Because God can never announce a man that is not dead to self and dead to flesh. Because God only announced dead men. That is it.
This is a keynote. God only announced dead men.
So when it comes to announcement, when it comes to consistent result in this kingdom, is for dead men. You can manipulate and get result, but we can know that this one is the hand of God. Those kind of results can only be entrusted. God entrusts you with it. Just like he gave one 5 talents, he gave another 2, and he gave another 1. Wow. That is an entrustment. God can entrust it to you. So that is it.
God, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. This is getting so overwhelming already. Yes, I just want you to also enlighten us on what spiritual disciplines do you think God used to bet this global opening?
Okay.
Life? Yes.
Okay, you see, when it comes to spiritual discipline, or you see, one thing you must understand as a man called a ministry, or not just a ministry, every sphere of influence, you must know your personal dealings with God. You see, I do tell people that don't copy dealings, don't do copy and paste. One of the most dangerous things you can do as a man of God is to copy someone else's strategy.
Wow.
Don't copy strategy, because what might work for me might not work for you. And what might work for you might not work for me. There are times that what might work for me might also still work for you. Like getting me? Like me, I know one of my major, because every man of God see today that is being celebrated have a special consecration. That is the discipline we are talking about. Consecration. And to me, one of my consecration is that I don't eat breakfast. That is it. You can't see. If you see me eating breakfast, maybe with maybe a visitor came in, or maybe you decide to go for breakfast and all that. Personally, I don't eat breakfast for years.
Wow, for years
I don't eat breakfast. You can't see me. Those that consumers, in short, many of my mentees that are here, they knows that I don't eat breakfast for years.